Scrape. Drag or pull a hard or sharp implement across a surface or object to remove dirt or waste matter. Semantic. Relating to the meaning of words and sentences. Shear. Cut the wool off a sheep or other animal. Sherry. A fortified wine originally from southern Spain. Silicone. A synthetic resin made from silicon, used to make cosmetic implants, plastic, paints, etc. Skepticism. Doubt about the truth of something. Synonyms: doubt, disbelief, cynicism, distrust, suspicion, incredulity. Sly. Having a cunning and deceitful nature. Smiley. Informal smiling, cheerful. Startling. Very surprising or remarkable. Strife. Angry or bitter disagreement, conflict. Stylist. A person who cuts hair or designs fashionable clothes. Tenor. The general meaning or nature of something. Thrift. Carefulness and economy in the use of money and other resources. Traverse. Travel or extend across or through. Turnaround. An abrupt or unexpected change. Uterus. The organ in the body of a woman or female mammal in which offspring develop before birth, the womb. Validate. Check or prove that something is true or valid. Vid, informal short for video. Vocalist. A singer, especially in jazz or popular music. Zebra. An African wild horse with black and white stripes and an erect mane. Aft. And adjective at, near, or toward the stern of a ship or tail of an aircraft. Albion. Literary Britain or England. Anesthesia. Insensitivity to pain, especially as artificially induced by the injection of drugs before surgery. Aria. A long accompanied song for a solo voice in an opera or oratorio. Barrage. A continuous artillery bombardment over a wide area. Brilliance. Intense brightness of light. Broth. Soup made from meat or vegetables cooked in stock. Centenary. Brit. Checkpoint. A barrier where security checks are carried out on travelers. Chloride. A compound of chlorine with another element or group. Classify. Arrange a group in classes according to shared characteristics. Cocky. Conceited in a bold or impudent way. Coefficient. Mathematics: a quantity placed before and multiplying the variable in an algebraic expression, e.g., 4 and 4x. Conditioner. A thing used to improve the condition of something, especially a liquid applied to the hair after shampooing. Conglomerate. Something consisting of a number of different and distinct things. Cornerstone. A vital part or basis. Counterfeit. Made an exact imitation of something valuable with the intention to deceive or defraud others. Deacon. In Catholic, Anglican, and Orthodox churches, a minister ranking below a priest. Edgy. Tense, nervous, or irritable. Encore. A repeated or additional performance of an item at the end of a concert, as called for by an audience. Error. Make a mistake. Espresso. Strong black coffee made by forcing steam through ground coffee beans. Evade. Escape or avoid someone or something, especially by cunning. Freaky. Informal vary 518 freeboard odd or strange. Futile. Producing no useful results, pointless. Glacial. Relating to ice, especially in the form of glaciers. Gloomy. Dark or poorly lit. Graceful. Having or showing grace or elegance. Gritty. Containing or covered with grit. Heartbreak. Overwhelming distress. Heist. Informal or robbery. Heterosexual. Sexually attracted to the opposite sex. Hinder. Situated at or toward the back. Hinder. Delay or impede someone or something. Hobbit. A member of an imaginary race similar to humans, of small size and with hairy feet. Horseback. Mounted on a horse. Hospice. A home providing care for people who are sick or terminally ill. Hotline. A direct telephone line set up for a specific purpose. Inhibition. A feeling that makes someone unable to act in a relaxed and natural way. Integer. A whole number. Interdisciplinary. Relating to more than one branch of knowledge. Intermittent. Occurring at irregular intervals. Kremlin. A citadel within a Russian town. Magnum. A wine bottle of twice the standard size, normally 1% liters. Malay. A member of a people inhabiting Malaysia and Indonesia. Martian. A supposed inhabitant of the planet Mars. Maxim. A short statement expressing a general truth or rule of behavior. Melancholy. Deep and long-lasting sadness. Misplaced. Not appropriate in the circumstances. Misty. Full of or covered with mist. Monsieur. Z, ma dash, Monsieur, Z, / a title or form of address for a French-speaking man, corresponding to Mr. or Sir. Mop. A bundle of thick loose strings or a sponge attached to a handle, used for wiping floors. Multicultural. Relating to or made up of several cultural or ethnic groups. Negligible. So small or unimportant that it is not worth considering. Obligatory. Required by a law, rule, or custom, compulsory. Oceanic. Relating to the ocean. OD. Informal take an overdose of a drug. Outpost. A small military camp at a distance from the main army. Overflow. Flow over the brim of a container. Oxidation. Chemistry, the process of oxidizing or the result of being oxidized. Panorama. An unbroken view of the whole region surrounding an observer. Pascal. The SI unit of pressure, equal to 1 Newton per square meter. Peep. Look quickly and furtively. Pervasive. Spreading widely through an area or group of people, widespread. Pickle. A small cucumber preserved in vinegar, brine, or a similar solution. Playwright. A person who writes plays. Predatory. Of an animal, hunting and killing other animals for food. Preface. An introduction to a book, stating its subject, scope, or aims. Prescribe. Recommend and authorize the use of a medicine or treatment. Punitive. Imposing or intended as punishment. Quits. On equal terms because a debt or score has been settled. Rainforest. A dense forest found in tropical areas with consistently heavy rainfall. Reborn. Brought back to life or activity. Repercussions. The consequences of an event or action. Reprint. Print something again or in a revised form. Restroom. A lavatory in a public building. Rhythmic. Having or relating to rhythm. Robber. A person who commits robbery. Roulette. A gambling game in which a ball is dropped onto a revolving wheel with numbered compartments, the players betting on the number at which the ball will come to rest. Satin. A smooth, glossy fabric, usually of silk. Scatter. Throw a number of things in various random directions. Scramble. Move or make one's way quickly and awkwardly, using the hands as well as the feet. Semantics. The branch of linguistics concerned with meaning. Shameless. Not feeling ashamed, even though one has done something wrong or foolish. Sinner. A person who sins. Skeletal. Relating to a skeleton. Snapshot. An informal photograph, taken quickly. Soar. Fly of rise high into the air. Spherical. Shaped like a sphere. Sprinkle. Scatter or pour small drops or particles over an object or surface. Spruce. Neat and smart. Spruce. A conical coniferous tree that has hanging cones. Stamina. The ability to keep up physical or mental effort over a long period. Standalone. Able to operate independently of other hardware or software. Subconscious. Relating to the part of the mind of which one is not fully aware but which influences one's actions and feelings. Thinker. A person who thinks deeply and seriously. Tonic. A medicinal drink taken to make a person feel healthier or more energetic. troublesome, causing difficulty or annoyance. Utopia. An imaginary place, society, or situation where everything is perfect. Vanish. Disappear from view suddenly and completely. Vigorously. With vigor. Abrupt. Sudden and unexpected. Acronym. A word formed from the initial letters of other words, e.g., laser. Adversity. A difficult or unpleasant situation. Affidavit. Law, a written statement for use as evidence in court, sworn on oath to be true. Antics. Foolish, outrageous, or amusing behavior. Astrology. The study of the supposed influence of stars and planets on human affairs. Authorize. Give official permission for. Baroness. The wife or widow of a baron. Barrow. A metal frame with two wheels used to carry objects such as luggage. Biographical. Relating to or dealing with a particular person's life. Biomass. The total quantity of organisms in a given area. Blouse. A garment like a shirt, worn by women. Bodyguard. A person employed to protect an important or famous person. Botany. The scientific study of plants. Bulldog. A breed of dog with a protruding lower jaw, a flat wrinkled face, and a broad chest. Caterpillar. The larva of a butterfly or moth. Chatter. Talk informally about minor matters. Chops. Informal, a person's or animal's mouth, jaws, or cheeks. Cleric. A priest or religious leader. Compile. Produce a book, report, etc., by assembling material from other sources. Compressor. An instrument or device for compressing something. Cougar. A large American wildcat with a plain tawny to grayish coat. Cutler. A person who makes or sells cutlery. Deceive. Deliberately make someone believe something that is not true. Directional. Relating to or indicating direction. Disciple. A follower of Jesus during his life, especially one of the 12 apostles. Ditto. The same thing again, used in lists and often indicated by a ditto mark. Divergent. Different. Doctorate. The highest degree awarded by a graduate school or other educational institution. Downright. Utter, complete. Electrode. A conductor through which electricity enters or leaves something. Elemental. Forming an essential or typical feature, fundamental. Elevate. Lift something to a higher position. Exemplary. Providing a good example to others, very good. Expansive. Covering a wide area, extensive. Fife. A small shrill flute played in military bands. Geez. Variant spelling of SEZ. Gemini. A constellation and the third sign of the zodiac, the twins, which the sun enters about May 21st. Gland. An organ of the body that produces particular chemical substances. Gutter. A shallow trough beneath the edge of a roof, or a channel at the side of a street, for carrying off rainwater. Hearty. Enthusiastic and friendly. Hillside. The sloping side of a hill. Hun. A member of an Asiatic people who invaded Europe in the 4th STH centuries. Hysteria. Extreme or uncontrollable emotion or excitement. Impartial. Treating everyone equally, not biased. Imperialism. A policy of extending a country's power and influence through establishing colonies or by military force. Imprint. Make a mark on an object by pressure. Infancy. The state or period of being a baby or very young child. Inhibitor. A substance that slows down or prevents a particular chemical reaction or other process. Lash. Beat a person or animal with a whip or stick. Latina. Femme. Madras. A colorful striped or checked cotton fabric. Manageable. Able to be dealt with or controlled without difficulty. Manslaughter. The crime of killing a person without intending to do so. Mecca. A place that attracts many people. Meridian. A circle of constant longitude passing through a given place on the Earth's surface and the poles. MIDI, of medium size or length. MIDI, a standard for interconnecting electronic musical instruments and computers. Misdemeanor. An action that is bad or unacceptable, but does not amount to a serious crime. Misfortune. Bad luck. Mountainous. Having many mountains. Obnoxious. Extremely unpleasant. Orphanage. A residential institution where orphans are cared for. Phoebe. A mainly gray-brown or blackish American tyrant flycatcher. Pilgrim. A person who journeys to a holy place for religious reasons. Rake. A tool consisting of a pole with metal prongs at the end, used for drawing together leaves, cut grass, etc., or smoothing soil or gravel. Rake. Set something at a sloping angle. Resent. Feel bitter or angry towards someone or something. Retribution. Severe punishment in revenge for a wrong or criminal act. Rhetorical. Relating to rhetoric. Rightful. Having a legal or moral right to something. Semen. The fluid containing spermatozoa that is produced by men and male animals. Shorten. Make or become shorter. Slime. An unpleasantly moist, soft, and slippery substance. Sow, an adult female pig. Sow, plant seed by scattering it on or in the earth. Sparkle. Shine brightly with flashes of light. Spawn. Of a fish, frog, etc., release or deposit eggs. Suffrage. The right to vote in political elections. Surrogate. A substitute, especially a person who stands in for another in a role or office. Synopsis. A brief summary or outline. Toothbrush. A small brush with a long handle, used for cleaning the teeth. Treatise. A written work dealing formally and systematically with a subject. Uphill. Toward the top of a slope. Waltz. A dance in triple time performed by a couple, who turn around and around as they progress around the dance floor. Wooded. Covered with woods. Adhesive. A substance used for sticking things together. Affluent. Having a great deal of money, wealthy. Ambiguity. The quality of having more than one possible meaning or interpretation. Anguish. Severe pain or distress. Antitrust. Preventing or controlling monopolies, so assisting fair competition. Arid. Very dry because having little or no rain. Bandit. A member of a gang of armed robbers. Barrister. Chiefly Brit. Bazaar. A market in a Middle Eastern country. Beneficiary. A person who benefits from something, especially a trust or will. Bipartisan. Involving the agreement or cooperation of two political parties. Birthplace. The place where a person was born. Brochure. A small book or pamphlet containing pictures and information about a product or service. Build-up. A gradual increase in something over a period of time. Butch. Informal masculine in a conspicuous or aggressive way. Cobalt. A hard silvery white metallic chemical element, used in alloys. Collier. Chiefly Brit, for a coal miner. Colossal. Extremely large. Commodore. A naval rank above captain and below rear admiral. Compiler. A person who compiles information. Conserve. Protect something from harm or waste. Constellation. A group of stars forming a recognized pattern and typically named after a mythological or other figure. Contour. An outline of the shape or form of something. Crispy. Firm and brittle, crisp. Curfew. A regulation ordering people to remain indoors between specified hours, typically at night. Decidedly. Clearly and distinctly. Delusion. A false belief or impression about oneself or one's situation. Designate. Officially give a specified status or name to. Discard. Get rid of something as useless or unwanted. Discontent. Lack of contentment or satisfaction. Dixie. An informal name for the southern states of the U.S. Dopamine. A compound that exists in the body as a neurotransmitter and from which other substances including adrenaline are formed. Douche. A shower of water. Eclectic. Using ideas from a wide variety of sources. Ecstatic. Very happy or excited. Endemic. Of a disease or condition, regularly found among particular people or in a certain area. Enlist. Enroll or be enrolled in the armed services. Eyebrow. The strip of hair growing on the ridge above a person's eye socket. Firefighter. A person whose job is to extinguish fires. Fluorescent. Having or showing fluorescence. Futuristic. Having or involving very modern technology or design. Gearing. The set or arrangement of gears in a machine. Hallmark. An official Mark 585 halt stamped on articles made of gold, silver, or platinum as a guarantee of their purity. Haste. Speed or urgency in doing something. Illiterate. Unable to read or write. Immaculate. Completely clean, neat, or tidy. Inclination. A person's natural tendency to act or feel in a particular way. Interpersonal. Relating to relationships between people. Interracial. Existing between or involving different races. Intruder. A person who intrudes, especially one who enters a building with criminal intent. Inward. Directed or proceeding toward the inside. Judas. A person who betrays a friend. Kinky. Informal, relating to or liking unusual sexual activities. Launcher. A structure that holds a rocket or missile during launching. Legality. The quality or state of being legal. Lessen. Make or become less, diminish. Lifespan. The length of time for which a person or animal lives or a thing functions. Longitudinal. Running lengthwise. Loosen. Make or become loose. Masculinity. The quality or condition of being male. Microscopic. So small as to be visible only with a microscope. Midday. The middle of the day, noon. Moan. A low mournful sound, usually expressing suffering. Morphine. A drug obtained from opium and used medicinally to relieve pain. Murderous. Capable of or involving murder or extreme violence. Nirvana. The ultimate goal of Buddhism, a state in which there is no suffering or desire, and no sense of self. Non-stop. Continuing without stopping. Oatmeal. Meal made from ground oats, used in breakfast cereals or other food. Opaque. Not able to be seen through, not transparent. Ordnance. Large guns mounted on wheels. Originate. Begin in a particular place or situation. Otter. A fish-eating mammal with a long body, dense fur, and webbed feet, living partly in water and partly on land. Parting. A leave-taking or departure. Percussion. Musical instruments that are played by being struck or shaken, such as drums or cymbals. Pigment. A natural substance that gives animal or plant tissue its color. Populist. Intended to appeal to or represent the interests and views of ordinary people. Porous. Having tiny spaces through which liquid or air may pass. Registrar. An official responsible for keeping official records. Rein. A long, narrow strap attached at one end to a horse's bit, used in pairs to control a horse. Relic. An interesting object that has survived from the past. Retard. Stop from developing or progressing. Reunite. Bring or come together again after a period of separation. Reuse. Use something again. Roadway. A road. Rustic. Relating to or typical of the country, especially in being attractively simple or unsophisticated. Sanitary. Relating to sanitation. Saturation. The state of being so full that nothing else can be added. Scarcity. Insufficiency of supply. Scorpion. A creature related to spiders, with pincers and a poisonous sting at the end of its tail. Setback. A problem that prevents or holds up progress. Spartan. Relating to Sparta, a city-state in ancient Greece. Stun. Make a person or animal unconscious or dazed by hitting them on the head. Subdued. Quiet and rather thoughtful or depressed. Surpass. Be greater or better than. Tack. A small broad-headed nail. Tart. An open pastry case containing a sweet or savory filling. Ting. A sharp, clear ringing sound. Tiring. Causing exhaustion, it was very tiring work. Toothpaste. A paste used on a brush for cleaning the teeth. Transformer. A device for changing the voltage of an alternating current. Transient. Lasting only for a short time. Triumphant. Having won a battle or contest, victorious. Umpire. In certain sports, an official who supervises a game to ensure that players keep to the rules and who settles disputes arising from the play. Unborn. Not yet born. Undisclosed. Not revealed or made known. Undone. Not tied or fastened. Unheard. Not heard or listened to. Vicar. In the Church of England, a priest in charge of a parish. Weep. Shed tears. Welch. Variant spelling of Welsh. Wrench. pull or twist suddenly and violently. Wretched. In a very unhappy or unfortunate state, miserable. Adolescence. The period during which a young person develops from a child into an adult. Afterlife. Life after death. Ammonia. A colorless, strong-smelling gas that can be used to make a cleaning fluid. Analogous. Alike or comparable in certain ways. Anarchist. A person who believes that all forms of government should be abolished. Anglican. Relating to the Church of England or any church associated with it. Apron. A protective garment covering the front of one's clothes and tied at the back. Archaic. Very old or old-fashioned. Biochemistry. The branch of science concerned with the chemical processes that occur within living organisms. Bordeaux. A wine from the Bordeaux region of SW France. Burr. A whirring sound. Carbs. Informal dietary carbohydrates. Censor. An official who examines material that is to be published and suppresses parts considered offensive or a threat to security. Centennial. Relating to a 100th anniversary. Clover. A plant with round white or deep pink flower heads and leaves with 3 rounded parts. Cookbook. A recipe book. Cosmopolitan. 41 consisting of people from many different countries and cultures. Coyote. A wolf-like wild dog native to North America. Decorate. Make something more attractive by putting extra items in or on it. Deductible. Able to be deducted, especially from taxable income. Diagonal. Of a straight line, joining 2 opposite corners of a rectangle, square, or other shape. Discredit. Damage a person's good reputation. Dresser. A sideboard with shelves above for storing and displaying dishes. Duff. Decaying vegetable matter covering the ground under trees. Dysfunctional. Not operating normally or properly. Elm. A tall deciduous tree with serrated leaves. Equitable. Treating everyone fairly and equally. Estrogen. A hormone that produces female physical characteristics. Exert. Apply or bring to bear force, influence, or quality. Felicity. Great happiness. Feudal. Relating to feudalism. Fleece. The wool coat of a sheep. Fodder. Food for cattle and other livestock. Fumble. Use the hands clumsily while doing or handling something. Glare. Stare in an angry way. Gourmet. A person who is knowledgeable about good food. Gripping. Very interesting or exciting. Handheld. Designed to be held in the hand. Handshake. An act of shaking a person's hand. Hefty. Large and heavy. Herbal. Relating to or made from herbs. Hippie. Variant spelling of nippy. Hump. A rounded raised mass of earth or land. Idiotic. Very stupid or foolish. Incest. Sexual intercourse between people classed as being too closely related to marry each other. Infect. Affect a person, part of the body, etc., with an organism that causes disease. Insertion. The action of inserting something. Interruption. An act, remark, or period that stops the progress of something. Intrigue. Intrigues, intriguing, intrigued, for arouse someone's curiosity or interest. Itch. An uncomfortable sensation that causes a desire to scratch the skin. Lattice. A structure or pattern consisting of strips crossing each other with square or diamond-shaped spaces left between. Linebacker. Football, a defensive player normally positioned behind the line of scrimmage, but in front of the safeties. Mastermind. A person who is extremely intelligent. Mischief. Playful misbehavior. Neptune. A planet of the solar system, 8th in order from the Sun. Occupancy. The action or fact of occupying a place. Oncology. The study and treatment of tumors. Overrun. Spread over or occupy a place in large numbers. Pasture. Land covered with grass, suitable for grazing cattle or sheep. Pathological. Relating to or caused by a disease. Payload. Passengers and cargo as the part of a vehicle's load that earns money. Payout. A large payment of money. Pertinent. Relevant or appropriate. Plentiful. Existing in great quantities, abundant. Plumber. A person who installs and repairs the pipes and fittings of water supply, sanitation, or heating systems. Rarity. A rare or unusual disloyal. Realty. Law, a person's real property. Rebellious. Rebelling or showing a desire to rebel. Revisit. Come back to or visit a place again. Sensual. Relating to the physical senses as a source of pleasure, especially sexual pleasure. Slump. Sit, lean, or fall heavily and limply. Soften. Make or become soft or softer. SOS. An international signal of extreme distress, used especially by ships at sea. Souvenir. A thing that is kept as a reminder of a person, place, or event. Spaceship. A manned spacecraft. Sparse. Present in small amounts or numbers and often thinly scattered. Steamer. A ship or boat powered by steam. Suction. The process of removing air or liquid from a space or container, creating a partial vacuum that causes something else to be sucked in or that causes surfaces to stick together. Sunflower. A tall plant bearing very large yellow flowers with edible seeds from which an oil used in cooking, margarine, etc., is extracted. Supplementary. Provided in addition to something so as to complete or improve it. Surveyor. A person who surveys land as a profession. Temperament. A person's nature in terms of the effect it has on their behavior. Topless. Having the breasts uncovered. Torment. Great physical or mental suffering. Tyrant. A cruel and oppressive ruler. Unattractive. Not pleasing, appealing, or inviting. Unbeaten. Not defeated or bettered. Understatement. The description of something as being smaller, worse, or less important than it actually is. Undesirable. Not wanted or desirable because harmful, offensive, or unpleasant. Unification. The process of being unified. Weaponry. Weapons regarded collectively. Wildfire. Spread with great speed. Wreath. An arrangement of flowers, leaves, or stems fastened in a ring and used for decoration or for placing on a grave. Afar. Literary at or to a distance. Affectionate. Readily showing affection. Annuity. A fixed sum of money paid to someone each year. Appliance. A device designed to perform a specific task. Awaken. Stop sleeping, awake. Azure. A bright blue color. Bonnet. A woman's or child's hat tied under the chin and with a brim framing the face. Byzantine. Relating to Byzantium, now Istanbul, the Byzantine Empire, or the Eastern Orthodox Church. Cadet. A young trainee in the armed services or police. Casing. A cover or shell that protects or encloses something. Catfish. A freshwater or sea fish with whisker-like growths around the mouth. Clerical. Relating to the routine work of an office clerk. Collage. A form of art in which various materials are arranged and stuck to a backing. Complimentary. Praising or approving. Computation. Mathematical calculation. Conjecture. An opinion or conclusion based on incomplete information, a guess. Conspicuous. Clearly visible. Continual. Constantly or frequently occurring. Contradict. Deny the truth of a statement made by someone by saying the opposite. Crackdown. A set of severe measures against undesirable or illegal behavior. Craze. A widespread but short-lived enthusiasm for something. Cupcake. A small iced cake baked in a cup-shaped container. Davenport. A large upholstered sofa, typically able to be converted into a bed. Degrading. Causing a loss of self-respect, humiliating. Deli. Informal, a delicatessen.